Hi, I'm Dan.
I'm Lynnea.
And this is Dusted or Busted. They come in from the last elimination, and I didn't really have a whole lot to say, but I see that you have something to say.
One of my favorite moments, they came in and Courtney is talking about Miss Jocelyn Fox. And Courtney says that she's the Dita Ritz of the season, which I thought was hilarious. This week's mini challenge was Hungman, which they should have just called Wheel of Fortune because that's what it was. I thought it was really interesting how some of the queens were getting the answer right after they revealed one letter. Some of them got them right away, which was really funny. And then Bendela won.
What did she even win? Because I don't think she won like extra time doing anything.
I don't know if she won anything.
That's always so weird when they have these mini challenges that aren't even worth anything.
You all know that I love Bianca. And so I would like to comment. Her dimples are adorable. I love that. And I also enjoy the fact that her laugh cuts through everything. No matter what they're showing on camera, if Bianca laughs, you can hear it from a mile away. I think that's awesome.
I want to take this moment. We're getting all the little business shit out of the way at the beginning. I want to know if any of our fans have tried any of these drinks that we've come up with, because we make these drinks and we don't try them before we drink them. And I want to know what your opinions are. So next video, comment on what your favorite drink that we've made is. So the main challenge this week is to host the RuPaul's show. And the special guests are Cher's son, Chaz Bono, and Cher's mom, Georgia Holt.
They're in the workroom, and everybody, they hear what the challenge is, so they kind of start getting ready. And the first thing Jocelyn does is she runs over to her wardrobe and starts picking out some things that she can wear for the challenge.
And then I noticed the dress that Jocelyn did wear for the interview. It was super short. You, like, standing up, it was super short. Then I can't imagine it was, like, sitting down in it.
Yikes. Also, Jocelyn continues to call RuPaul Ruzy Q every time that she comes into the workroom.
Props to Courtney Act, because RuPaul comes into the workroom and starts talking to Courtney, and Courtney actually asks, well, I've been getting a lot of kind of middle-of-the-road to negative critiques, but I feel like I'm doing really well in the challenges, so is there anything specific that I could work on? Which is a huge... That's like the
that
first
is
time...
a very smart strategy. I don't think any other queens have done that.
And then RuPaul, bless her heart, says like the most generic bullshit answer. Like, and Courtney asked for specific things that she can work on. And
none of them were specific.
No.
So they're interviewing the guests, and Adore was the first one. And I wrote a couple things about every single queen, and the one that I wrote down for hers was Cher's mom is talking about how when she first started out singing, she was like, we were poor, it was the Depression. And Adore goes, party! I did like her outfit, though. I thought that was appropriate for hosting a talk show. And then Bianca was next. I didn't like her outfit for that challenge. I liked it just on its own. I just don't think that you would wear that to be a television host.
I did have to agree with what Santino said about, like, when you're a host at a nightclub, you don't really care what the audience has to say. So
right, when you're asking questions, it's rhetorical.
Paula actually did say, you know, she has the skills. It's just at this one time it wasn't there.
Right, it's not what she's used to doing. Trinity K. Bonet.
Oh, God.
You need to know the names of who you're interviewing. She kept calling him Chad. And you can't do that. You can't not know the names of your guests.
Although, I feel like Chaz should have corrected her.
I was just going to say that. I feel like one of them should have said, that's not my name. On to Courtney, who nailed it completely. I think that she asked some of the important questions. And so I thought that she did a really nice job. Darian Lake.
That was really bad.
It was just awkward because all of the questions that she asked were yes or no questions. They didn't really require any discussion or follow-up. So she wasn't able to create any dialogue, and I think that made the guests and the viewers uncomfortable.
And that outfit didn't really work.
No. Bendela?
I love Dela.
Dela did such a good job in this challenge, and I thought that this was the perfect challenge for her to continue to, like, show who she is, because that's what the judges are asking for. Well, what better way than when you're, like, trying to create a really relaxing, natural atmosphere on a talk show. So, good for her. And then we have Miss Jocelyn Fox.
Who's obsessed with vaginas for some reason.
So she started off with the vagina joke that she was told not to tell.
It was funnier the way she told RuPaul.
Her outfit looked cheap and trashy. What else is new? And then the abortion question was not really appropriate in that setting. And you could tell that the guests were a little put off by that.
Michelle just wouldn't let that die on the runway, though.
Yeah. The funniest part to me about Jocelyn's portion was they would show her doing the interview, and you could see that it was sinking faster than the Titanic. It was just completely going wrong. And then they always cut to their little side interviews, and Jocelyn's saying how well it's going, and she says, oh, they have no problem opening up to me. And I just thought, were you in the same interview? I don't know how she thought that was going well, because there were a lot of awkward moments.
So onto the runway, and the theme was Animal Kingdom Couture. And let me say, aside from the black and white challenge, this was like the best runway I've ever seen on this show.
Before we get to the queens, I would like to state that I think that this is the best that Michelle Visage has ever looked, sitting at the judges' table. I loved her little headpiece and her straight hair and her cheetah print.
I didn't like the headpiece.
I thought it was great. I really liked how she looked, and I'll be sure to tell her that in a couple of weeks. Paula Abdul finally joins us, so that was really great. And I thought that was an interesting fact that she's the most lip-synced queen artist in Drag Race history.
Someone said that just means that her song rights are the cheapest.
First one down the runway was Miss Darian Lake, who came out as an elephant.
Nothing to talk about there.
But I did like her hair and her makeup.
I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't like those earrings. Everyone was living for those earrings, and I hated them.
Well, that's not hair or makeup, but Adores, I didn't know what animal she was supposed to be. And that face mask, and then the wig, and the outfit, I just felt like there wasn't anything pulling the whole look together. It was very piecemeal.
Yeah, I agree, except I did totally get right away that she was going for, like, Scorpion for Mortal Kombat. Oh. So I got it, but I guess the judges did.
Wow, we disagree on a lot.
I guess this week. Jayla was amazing.
I loved it. Her face looked beautiful. Yeah. When we first watched some of the promos, they showed her, like, coming down the runway on all fours. We thought that was vivacious.
That's totally a vivacious thing that she would do.
Bianca came down as Little Miss Cheetah on the runway, and she had the whole look, plus she had, like, body paint on some of her face and her arms to continue with the pattern. I didn't like the black lips, but I did like her look a lot.
I like that she changed it up, yeah.
Jocelyn, I don't have anything to say to you anymore.
Meaty tuck. That's all I have to say.
Trinity K. Bonet, another amazing costume.
I liked the makeup. That was really intricate makeup.
I thought it was kind of a lot to look at.
Yeah, I thought it was really busy too.
And then Courtney.
That was amazing.
That looked so amazing. I loved every aspect of it, and she's really taking that resting on pretty comment and doing something with it. Did you catch Michelle's comment about Merle Ginsburg?
No.
Oh my god.
Tell me.
I can't remember exactly what it was now because I just wrote down Michelle's little bit. RuPaul said once you start letting things... It was a negative comment about, like, well, if you start letting the queens do this, and Michelle jumps in and she goes, and then you bring back Merle?
What? I have to watch that again.
Yeah. Santino got in a nice little read because they're talking about Jocelyn, and Michelle goes, she stuck some feathers on her head, and Santino goes, and called it macaroni. Courtney won...
I noticed that too.
Courtney won the whole thing this week, and her prize was wigs.
She already has her own wig line.
Courtney makes her own wigs. She has her own wig line. So bottom two were Adore and Trinity. I don't know how Jocelyn was safe. I really don't. The only thing I can think of is that Trinity has been in the bottom
so many times
that it's time to go.
I think that they also noticed that Jocelyn was really sincere on the runway when she's like, I really didn't mean it to be like offensive or off-putting. That's just the way she is. We can't watch the show on Monday nights because we just don't have logo. So we have to watch it like Tuesday or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so on Monday nights, we're the kind of people who don't mind spoilers or anything. So we're like on Twitter.
I want to know exactly what happens.
Yeah, we're like on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're seeing what's going on. And someone said, I bet RuPaul's kicking herself for using the No One Goes Home twist 2 episodes ago. So I was gearing up for this lip sync. I was like, this is going to be awesome. And then when I watched it, I was like, yeah, it's pretty good, but Adore definitely deserved to stay.
Adore killed it. Yeah, I would agree with that. I thought that Trinity left with such grace and dignity, and she did it the right way. I know that you think the Gia Gunn thing was funny, but Trinity left, and like that is how you do it.
I like Gia's exit, but I think Trinity's is going to be more memorable. Mm-hmm. Trinity's was second only to Latrice Royale's. So who is your most dusted on the runway?
Courtney Act.
Really? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep. Mine was Ben de la Creme because I loved it so much. I just loved the theatrics, and I love that they're starting to see more of who she really is on the runway. Who was your most busted on the runway?
Jocelyn.
Really? Mm-hmm. The thing for me, mine was Darian Lake. Mm. And the thing is, even though Darian's like fit with the challenge more, I thought Jocelyn's just looked better overall.
Untucked. I wrote down a lot of quotes that I thought were good. One was Michelle Visage was talking about Adore, and she said, she has been wearing off the rack half the things that I own. Back to the abortion comment that Jocelyn made, it was clarified a little bit and Untucked, actually by Courtney. Mm-hmm. But Courtney defended her and said that in the documentary that was done, the abortion thing with Cher was addressed, and apparently she was very open about the whole thing. So it makes sense that you would ask the really hard questions in an interview. But it was just sprung upon her. And I didn't even know that there was a documentary, so until Courtney said something, I didn't realize that. Which just goes to show shady editing, again. Darian Lake
everyone's starting to get tired of her, thankfully.
Bianca's calling her out, and
Trinity called her out,
and Ben de la Creme was kind of...
That side interview?
Yes.
That was everything.
When she was talking about, how come Bianca doesn't notice and say something? I just love it when Bianca was like, you are a shady elephant. So we've gone from shady apes to shady elephants. And Bianca said, you're hateful. And you know that you're hateful when I say you're hateful. I thought that this week's Pink Box was hilarious when they had to guess who said what. Usually, the pink boxes, unless they're a message from the family, they're kind of dumb. But this one was really funny, I thought.
Magnolia Crawford. Adore's like, who the hell is this? I never met this person. And wasn't it like Courtney or Bianca who said, consider yourself lucky or something like that? That's another thing about, like, we love Kelly Mantle. But Kelly Mantle never had to meet Magnolia. She never had to meet Milk. It was probably better for her.
Mm-hmm. I thought that this Untucked really ended on a high note, and usually it ends with a lot of drama, but Courtney was talking about her little epiphany that she had about you have to accept yourself, and sometimes the only thing that's wrong with you is that you think there's something wrong with you. And Darian, as much as she has been a shady elephant this entire season, I did really like what she said in addition to Courtney. And she said, you need to finish your message before you leave this world. Like, you were put on this earth for a reason, and you have to finish that before you move on. That was kind of a redeeming moment for her in my eyes. This has absolutely nothing to do with Untucked. It's just something that I have observed because we're on social media a lot. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, in all social media. This week, there has been an explosion of pictures of these three girls. Courtney, Bianca, and Adore. And maybe... it's just that they hung out, like the three of them hung out over the weekend and then put a lot of pictures up. But everybody's saying like top three. And I would be so happy if that was top 3.
I'd rather have Dayla than Adore though. But I do have something else that I was thinking about too. Every season when they do Snatch Game, they always do it top 9. This year they did it top 10. Every year when they do the Makeover Challenge, they do it top 5. This year they're doing it top 6. I'm thinking maybe they're shifting everything back a week because they're going to do a top 4 instead of a top 3.
And some of that might be because they have more queens than they ever have to start off with. They had to
and
do
so
2
talented.
openings. And they didn't have an elimination a couple weeks ago.
And they started month
late. Yeah. So I'm thinking that the producers are pushing for them to get this over with. And I am too, because graduation for us is the first weekend in May.
We're going to go from Battle of the Queens to graduation the next day.
I don't actually know how we're going to keep doing our reviews.
I know. We might not even finish the season, you all. It's so sad.
We're going to try. We're going to try and find a way through Skype or something. If you have any ideas, please let us know. But we're hopefully going to try and finish out the whole season.
Overall, who is your duster of the week?
I'm going to say Courtney Act.
I'm going to say Ben de la Croix.
Most busted.
I bet we're going to say the same thing.
I'm going to have to go with Jocelyn Fox.
Me too.
Also, why wouldn't you go as a fox on the runway? It's in your name!
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. If I were doing this challenge, I'd go as a bear.
I'd go as a panda. Okay, so my shade list was going to include Jocelyn, but then I watched Untucked and realized that it's the producer's fault, so they're number 1. I'm also going to put on my shade list Darian Lake.
Good, I was hoping you would.
And I didn't actually have anybody else.
Santino and Michelle didn't really piss anyone off this week.
Well, other than you, but Michelle always pisses you off.
She didn't piss me off. Well, she kind of did, but...
She redeemed herself with her comment about Merle Ginsburg.
Santino actually had some good things to say.
Yeah.
I don't
You're on my shade list for not agreeing with me on everything. Do you have any predictions for next week?
Next week is the makeover, and I'm going to say Jocelyn's going to do pretty bad. And I think Adora's not going to do very well.
I didn't watch the next 10 minutes.
I didn't either. But
we're getting lazy.
I didn't even, honest to God, I didn't even finish watching Untucked. Thank you to all of our fans who have stuck by us, because we didn't have a lot at the beginning. Everybody
hated us at the beginning of our YouTube careers. Thank you all so much for watching. This was Dusted or Busted for episode 9 of the 6th season of RuPaul's Drag Race. Comment below with your predictions for next week's episode, your predictions for the entire season. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and make our drinks and enjoy.
Bye.
Bye.
This week we said goodbye to Miss Trinity K. Bonet. So in honor of Trinity, she's from the South, we're going to use some Southern Comfort. So we're going to take an ounce of Southern Comfort. And then we're going to add half an ounce of Familia Camarena tequila. And just a splash of Rose's lime juice. And now we're gonna fill it with some Sprite. And now we're just gonna top it off with just a splash of Coke. We never actually try these drinks before we make them. And this is the one that I'm most worried about. So, cheers! Thanks for watching.
Bye.